Hi everybody, that's Allie.
And that is Dash,
Welcome to our playdate.
where we choose a game, sometimes make up our own rules, and play for a while.
Enjoy listening and playing along.
Or don't. We can't hear you. It's a podcast.
Hey, little ghosties. We are on the road back from the Countdown Improv Festival in beautiful, historic Ybor City.
It is both beautiful and historic. I agree.
Yes, it's very lovely, a very quaint little town. We're performing at the Hillsborough Community College. They had several theater spaces that we used for the weekend. We love this festival. We absolutely love this festival. It's just 4 days this year.
Yeah. All our friends are here and we get to see them.
Yeah.
And it's like a really big it's just like a really big love fest.
Yeah.
And like everyone's
really pleasant to each other.
Yeah, people are nice to each other. People are very respectful and understanding of what everyone else does.
Yeah.
Some people do more experimental stuff. Some people do
experimental
more
improv.
straight improv stuff.
Yeah. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. And we cannot recommend, if you are an improviser and you listen to this podcast, definitely get together some sort of trio, duo, or solo act and submit to this festival. And if you are not an improviser and
Tampa in August.
Yeah.
And you can watch all of the chaos ensue.
You know, that's one of the hardest parts about being an improviser is that you enjoy this so much and you want to share that joy with other people, but it's so hard to convince people to come to an improv show.
You know what I think it is? I think that people think an improv show is the stereotype of the worst improv show,
right.
Which is like you're going to bring someone up on stage, you're going to make fun of them,
right.
or you're going to, put them on the spot, or you're
right.
going to ask them to do something that they don't want to do. But
right.
most improv shows, there are improv shows that are like that.
Right.
Right? But most improv shows are not like that. It's about honoring the audience and treating you like you're an intelligent human being
right.
who is there to see some live theater and to
right.
laugh and to have a good time.
Because let's be honest, the interpretation of improv in popular culture, right? Like
it gets made fun of a lot.
It gets made fun of a lot because it can be a little cheesy. It can be a little corny sometimes with the, miming things on stage, like you're making a pot of brownies or right? Like there's a lot of miming involved, and I get that can be sort of corny, but it's also really exaggerated when you watch it on TV and in movies.
I just remember, do you remember, I think it's The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Uh-huh.
Which that show is, Ellie Kemper was an improviser for a very long time. So she knows.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where Greg Kinnear is taking improv and he plays himself.
Yes.
It's Greg Kinnear playing
That's right. It's Greg Kinnear playing Greg Kinnear.
He's taking improv classes and I think invites Kimmy Schmidt to his improv show or something. It's very made fun of in popular culture, but a lot of the people who make those jokes in the show are improvisers or former improvisers themselves. And so, they're kind of making fun of it I think it's sort of like we love this and this is for the other improvisers watching the show.
Can I tell you my favorite joke from The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt that has to do with improv?
Of course. I'm just mixing up the cards in this bag over here.
One of the characters passes away, and he passed away in the middle of an improv scene, as the story goes. And in his obituary or his farewell memorial or whatever,
right.
They were like, "We'll never forget his last words. Fancy meeting you here in this pizzeria, Miss Hillary Clinton." And it was so great because it's just making fun of the fact that basic level 1 improv is you establish a location, what's happening, and who's in the scene with you.
Yeah.
But like
Perfect initiation.
perfect
10
initiation.
out of 10 perfect initiation.
Except that he was meeting Hillary Clinton for the first time. That's an improv no-no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I'm looking, there's
Uh-huh.
like a circle right on my face.
Oh,
Is
that's
that a
weird.
ghost?
No, I think that's just the lighting thing. There it is.
There
It's
it
gone.
is.
It's
We
gone.
fixed it. Bye-bye,
It's gone.
ghost.
Yeah.
You know how people say ghosts show up in photos?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like orbs.
Orbs, yeah. Lighting orbs.
Bye, ghost friend,
Right.
if you were in the car with us.
Right, like it's not at all particles of dust reflecting into
No,
a camera
absolutely
lens, right?
not.
Yeah.
No, it's not the dust in the air
Yeah.
of the old abandoned building that you're wandering
Right.
around in.
And it's not at
Definitely a ghost.
it's not at all the fact that the tour guide usually tells you the room is really dark, so you want to use your flash, right?
Right.
Like that's
Of course.
that's not a thing.
No. I'm not saying ghosts are real, but I'm not saying they're not
Right,
real.
right.
But our little ghosties are real, and we love you all. So thank you for listening
Yeah.
or watching or however you're consuming this. Today, on a road trip episode, we're going to replay our classic road trip game. This is a game called Shotgun, like you would scream as you were going into the car.
Right. Shotgun.
Again, this game was a gift to me. This game was gifted to me by my good friend Tiffany, so shout out to her.
Yeah.
And we're going to play it again. We did it in an earlier season on our,
Right.
I think it was our first road trip episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is a little flashback to that. So this is all sorts of things. This game, we just pull cards out of the bag and then
Yeah.
we see what happens.
We see what happens,
So I'll
yeah.
go first.
Okay.
I'll go first because you're
Driving.
driving. Okay. We did this on the last episode, so I'm going to skip that one.
Interesting.
So
Even
how
though
many-
you shuffled, how amazing.
How many cars does Jerry Seinfeld have? Do you remember?
How many cars is what?
Jerry Seinfeld have?
Did I said 100, but I think it was a lot more than that.
Yeah, it was 150.
Yeah.
This
I
card
was-
is sticking to another card. I think the cards we used last time are sticky.
Ooh,
What?
that's weird. Why are they sticky?
I don't know.
They're your cards. They're not mine. So
I don't know, but we use both of these cards and they're both sticky, so
weird. Maybe we had like chips or something on our hand when
I
we
mean,
handled them.
road snacks are definitely a thing. Okay. So,
Yes.
my card says, rate everybody's first name in the car and explain the rating.
Okay.
The person with the lowest rating loses a point. Sorry, Roberta.
Wow. Who hurt them?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you compare both of our names,
Yes.
your name, I think, is far superior.
Okay.
First of all, Dashel is rare,
Yes.
right? You're the first one I've ever met, but it's also in the zeitgeist, right?
Yeah.
Because you have Dashiell Hammond. So it has these like literary associations, but
Yeah.
like you get to be the first
Mhm.
Dash most people have ever met, which is
Yeah.
great. Dash is a great nickname.
Yes.
You could have gone with Eel, and you didn't.
Yeah, I think it was
You
a good
went with
choice.
Dash,
Yeah.
so that's a solid choice.
Can I
I
get real?
love a name that's also a noun.
Can I get real personal for a second?
Of course.
For a while, I tried to make Deshaun happen, and it did not go. It did not catch on.
And you don't have a middle name.
I
right?
don't know.
So you're just
Dashel.
that's it. You
Yeah.
can't like go by the middle name.
Right. Yeah. My parents doomed me.
Like you weren't Dashel Sean, and you were
Right.
trying to like do a
Put it
combo
together.
with
Right. Yeah.
that. No, Dash is a great name.
It is,
10
but
out of 10
it
name.
took like 16 years for me to get that nickname. I don't know why it took me that long to get that nickname. My entire life, I was Dashel, and it was impossible for people to pronounce, and everybody made fun of me. And I would meet people and say Dashel, and nobody knew how to pronounce it, even though I just said it to them. And then at some point, I moved down to Florida, and I'm in my science class.
You reinvented yourself.
I didn't even try. It's just that like I went into all my new classes on the first, and I transferred like midway through freshman year.
Yeah.
So I give my professor, the instructor, my schedule or whatever, and he's like, Dashiell, how do you pronounce that? Dashiell. Okay, Dashiell. All right, it's too hard. I'm just gonna call you Dash. Is that all right, Dash? All right, Dash. Go ahead, have a seat, Dash. That's a spot-on impersonation, by the way.
Yeah, he nailed it.
So everybody in that class knew me as Dash, but all the other classes knew me by my full name. So the thing is, there was these two older, high school girls in that class who adopted me because I was new and they were
That's
super
sweet.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
actually really sweet of them.
Yeah. So they adopted me and they like, you know, like lunch was right after that class. So we went to the breakout lunch thing and they kind of like, come here. This is where you go for lunch. You can buy pizza. You can get a Subway sub or whatever. So they introduced me to people as Dash. So because they were the ones who would introduce me to people, everybody who they introduced me to knew me as Dash.
Yeah.
And since now that was my circle of friends that I was adopted into, that's the name that I most went by. And by the end of the year, I was just like, just call me Dash.
Yeah.
And so that's when I got the nickname. But how did I go that long without...
Even someone just calling you Dash.
Right. Well, remember, I had a very solo childhood where, you know, I barely had any friends, or like I would have like one friend every year who I stuck by.
But also, I don't
so they
feel
didn't
like
care
I
to
call
give me
my
a nickname.
friends by their name.
Really?
Like I do if I'm talking about them,
I mean,
right? But if I'm talking to them, I'm not like, "Hello, friend. What is your name, friend?
No,
Let's
right,
talk
but-
about things, friend.
but-
Friend. Like you just don't.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
You know, like when you're in relationship with someone, looking at them. Unless I need to call you, I don't call you Dash, really.
Right,
Unless
yeah.
I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call you Allie all the time.
Yeah. That's because you get exasperated with me.
And I've never used your full name, but I have this bit lined up where I'm just always going to change the K of your middle name to something different every time.
I have a friend who does that.
Yeah.
He gives me a different middle name.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Like I'd be like, Alicia Christopherson Garcia.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Next is you.
Oh, okay.
You want to pick or you
Yeah,
want me to pick for you?
I'll pick. Ta-da. Yeah, there's two cards.
There's two cards there. Okay. If you went to prom in a limo, you get a bougie point. Did you go to prom in a limo?
No, and there's a whole story behind that I don't want to get into.
All right. I also did not go to prom in a limo.
No, we were going to.
Neither of us get bougie points.
Neither one of us gets bougie points.
And then the second card that you picked was give a point to everyone who has taken a Greyhound. Where'd you go?
I've taken a Greyhound.
Do you remember where you went?
I do. I went to Gainesville.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've taken a Greyhound also. I could not tell you where it was that I went though.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a pretty formative thing. Like you take a Greyhound for a specific reason.
Actually, it might have been like in New York, going from Newark to like Grand Central or something.
Okay.
I feel like I might have done that
Okay.
on a Greyhound bus. I know I've taken buses, trains, planes, boats, ferries, all the things.
But like specifically a Greyhound.
But I'm pretty sure I've taken a Greyhound bus. Where I went on that Greyhound bus, I could not tell you.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Is Greyhound still around?
Oh, that was a great question. I was just about to ask you. I think so.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I saw a Greyhound. Well, maybe it's just because I haven't been looking for them, but I can't remember the last time I saw a Greyhound bus.
Right, yeah.
I took it to Gainesville because I had a girlfriend at the time who was living in Gainesville.
Right.
So we would always do so like one weekend I would go up there and then we'd skip a weekend and then she would come down. So like we'd see each other twice a month and we'd take weekend trips.
Yeah. Right, like once on her territory, once on your territory.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm one of those, and my car was terrible at the time. So I was just like, I can't take a car up there, so I'll just take a Greyhound bus.
Yeah, and if you have someone who can pick you up or whatever, that's a lot better than just like
Yeah. And it took you right to the UF campus, and she picked me up.
You can rest. You can do. I mean, you can't do any of that stuff. You can record a podcast.
You record a podcast on the way.
Can you imagine you're on a Greyhound bus recording a podcast? You're like that guy.
Right. Everybody else is trying to sleep, and you're just there like wacky podcast time.
Hey, you want to know my opinion about things? Anyway. Alright, I'm gonna pick one. Who in the car most needs a hug? They get a point. We're all here for you.
Oh, I'm gonna say me. 100%
Okay.
me.
I very rarely feel like I need a hug, so
Yeah, you're not a.
so
You,
you
you
get
don't
a
get the
point.
same thing out of hugs than I do.
Yeah, so you get a point. Congrats, you're winning the game.
Thank you. Yes.
I have 0 points. Okay, you pick.
I'm gonna try to pick just one this time. There.
Yeah, these cards are sticking together. This is good. Okay, back seat. There's no one in the back seat.
No. That's it.
That's it.
So it was.
So basically, you can swap in the back seat, but we don't have anyone in the back seat.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We're gonna play this game with an actual like car full of people.
Right, yeah.
And then then all the cards are relevant.
Right.
I'm gonna pick another one because
Okay.
that one was like nothing.
Do it.
Pause. Everyone must take a moment to text someone you love to let them know you're safe and having fun.
Aw.
Person sitting shotgun, text for the driver.
Okay. So go ahead.
So pause for texting.
Pause for
Yeah.
texting.
Okay.
Is it you or me?
I think it's you.
Okay.
Yeah, that was text someone.
Got it.
Okay. Who is in the worst mood right now? Everyone votes and that person loses a point. Lighten up, Megan.
There's only 2 of us in the car.
I know. Do you think I'm in a worse mood than you, or you're in a worse mood than me?
I mean, we're both just coming off of the improv festival. I think we're both in about the same mood.
Yeah.
You're starting classes next week,
Yeah.
so maybe you.
But I'm going to a birthday dinner later.
You are
Not
going to
for
a
my
birthday
own
dinner,
birthday, for someone else's birthday.
Right.
So that's like a positive.
Right. And I'm gonna get to see my brother while he's
is a
down here, which is a positive.
Are we in an equal mood?
I think we're in an equal
I can
mood.
muster up some anger and get in a bad mood if you want me
Oh,
to.
you definitely can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can find something to be mad about.
So I'm gonna say you're in the mood.
Well, also my voice sounds like trash, which is kind of putting me in a little bit of a bad mood.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this always happens. I like blow out my voice at an improv festival.
Right.
My voice is gonna come back next week, and then I'm gonna start teaching again, and my voice is gonna go even worse than it is right now. All right, yeah, you're in a better mood. I lose a point. I'm at -1.
I don't know where we are.
You have 1 point, and I
Okay.
have -1.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone who owns a neck pillow gets a point. Do you have a neck pillow?
I have several.
Wow.
I keep 2 at my parents' place, and
Neck
I keep
pillow is
1
the
in
big-
mine.
It's like
Yes,
a C and it goes around.
Yeah. It's like for traveling.
I don't have a neck pillow. Mine's more like a neck brace, but it's supposed to be like a neck pillow.
Okay. I have one of those. Yeah.
Okay. But is that a neck pillow?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 1 point,
And I have.
and you
one.
have 2 points.
Okay.
Neck pillow.
Neck pillow.
Fun.
It's also called a travel pillow, depending on who you talk to.
Everyone who knows how to use jumper cables, throw a point by your name. I know how to use them. Red, dead. Black, donor. And then red. No, it's red, dead, red, donor. And then black, dead, black owner, right?
One goes to
Donor,
ground.
ground. Yeah. The black one goes to ground. I know how to use them. And if I don't know how to use them, you look it up on YouTube. Like you're there, how do I change a tire? And then you do it. Yeah, I know how to use jumper cables. So I get a point. And you also know how to use them.
Yep. Somebody
you have-
saved you this year.
I had jumper cables, and then I don't know where they went, and then my car battery was dying literally every week. It was dying if I didn't drive the car for 2 days. It was a nightmarish time.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah. My car died the morning I had to go take my dog to get surgery.
That's
It was
right.
bad. I had to call an Uber, and everything was timed perfectly. It was okay, I'm gonna leave it this time. I'll drop him off. I'll go to work and make it on time for work. I'll pick him up after work. Like, it was a whole thing. And the second I get in my car, the car doesn't start. And I was just like, well, crap. Yeah, it was not my favorite. But we figured out the problem, and now George is just back on the road, back and better than
kicking,
ever.
yeah.
She is
I
still.
cannot believe that car is still running.
I can't either. I drive a 2007 Saturn Ion for anybody who doesn't know.
How many miles do you have on that car already?
So many. Actually, you know what? It's not as many as you would think in having a car for, 15 years?
Right. I mean, because you really
18
only
years.
drive it to work and back.
Yeah, I really am driving to work and back. I did one big road trip in it 7 years ago, but that's really it, and I don't drive that far to work. I mean, the whole time I've lived in Miami, I think the farthest I drove to work was 8 or 9 miles, which is a long time, but in mileage, it's not that much.
Right.
So, and these sorts of road trips, you always drive because you don't like to
let other people drive.
let other people drive. So, and I'm happy to let you drive. So
it works out.
it all works out well.
What we have here is called the olive situation, where one person likes olives, one person doesn't like olives, so it's a perfect match.
Or the pickle situation,
Yeah,
right?
or
One
the
person
pickle
likes
situation.
pickles, the other person doesn't.
In this case, you hate driving, and I prefer to drive, so
Yeah.
it works out.
I really hate driving. Ugh.
My turn.
I
Your
did
turn?
find some joy driving in my most recent little rental car road trip, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I found a lot of joy in it.
and also a lot of frustration.
Yeah, that was just because I wasn't on a highway and I felt like I wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
But I got where I was going, and I managed to find the joy in the experience. So that was really good, I guess.
Let's do one more.
Sure, yeah, let's do it over. We started with me, so
Yeah, we'll end with me.
Yeah.
Perfect.
wait, wasn't that ending with you? No, jumper cables was me. Okay, quick. First person who gets away from someone in another car wins 2 points.
First person who what?
Gets a wave from someone in
Oh,
another
that's not
car.
fair.
Nope. Fully did not even wave at me. Although there were tinted windows, so
Yeah.
maybe I'm gonna pretend.
This may take a while.
This may take a while, so we're just gonna keep that one ongoing, and I'll pick another one. We did this one last one. If you've ever spent the night in a car, you told that story.
I did,
If
yeah.
you want to hear the story of Dash spending a night in the car, listen to our other episode.
Here we go.
Here we go. Waving. Hi, waving, sir. Hi, hello.
No, nothing.
No, did not even look. Pick up the nearest snack. The person who can most closely guess the sodium content gets a point.
Ooh.
Hold on, we got a wave situation. Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am. No, hi, person in a blue car.
Nothing.
So many tinted windows.
It's
Okay,
Florida.
The nearest
that's what
snack.
it
Here's our nearest snack.
is. Okay.
This was on sale
What is
at
it?
the Publix. It's popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm covering it. So sodium content in Himalayan pink salt with organic extra virgin olive oil, lesser evil popcorn.
It's specifically salted.
This is certified USDA organic popcorn.
Okay, so I don't know the way these numbers work. I never really look at the sodium content in this stuff.
I don't either.
I mostly look at carbs and
Same.
calories.
I look at serving size and carbs, and that's it.
So I'm going to guess a number that may be wildly inaccurate.
I don't even know
Right.
sodium content at all.
Right. So I'm going to say 250 grams of sodium.
250 grams of sodium. Can we do like a percentage?
Okay.
Also.
12% of your
Okay,
daily
12%. Great. So 250, 12.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 180 and 18, just because that seems fine. Okay. Sodium, 190 milligrams.
Oh my God.
8%. So I was closer in milligrams.
Yeah.
I said 180.
Yeah.
Very often percent.
How much was the percent?
8.
And I said 12. Okay, so you're still closer.
No, you're closer in percent.
I'm closer in percent, but you're closer.
But I'm closer in milligrams.
Yeah, well, because I also said grams, so I'm a few thousands off.
Yeah, true.
Apparently, my understanding of sodium content would just kill you. Like, just
Just fully
severely
dead.
dry you out.
Just
Yeah.
fully dead.
Yeah.
No one wants to wave to us on this road trip. This is very sad.
There's a lot of tinted windows
Hi.
because it's Florida. It doesn't really work here.
Yeah, it's hard with the tinted windows. You can't see.
Yeah, but you have to
And
have
your windows
tinted
are also tinted.
Correct,
Oh,
so
crap.
they may not even see you.
No one's gonna see me waving.
No. We're also on a highway going at highway speeds. Nobody's really looking at the car next to them.
Yeah. We may have to give up on this
Yeah.
first person who gets
All
a
right,
wave.
so
I'm
you're-
gonna
are you-
try it one more time with this car.
Are you keeping track of points?
Hello, hi person. Hi. Yeah, they can't see
No.
because your windows are tinted.
For when I sleep in the car.
For when you sleep in the car, exactly. And if you want to hear that story, go back to an
To a
episode
previous episode
that
of
I will
Shotgun.
have to look up to tell you which episode it is.
All right.
So I get a point for the sodium. So I think that's 3 points for me, right?
Uh-huh.
Jumper cables, neck pillow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, did we each get a point for Greyhound?
Yes, Greyhound, yeah.
And then the sodium content. Ooh, here's one. Non-tinted windows. Let's go. Let's go.
Allie really wants his point.
Oh, she's on the phone. Not good.
No.
No, we don't love it. And you got Greyhound, neck pillow,
Uh-huh.
jumper cables.
Yeah.
And you need a
The
hug.
name one.
The name one wasn't a point.
Oh, right, okay. It's
It
just
was
highest
just-
rating. It's just
Oh,
fun.
wait. No, you do. You do. Lowest rating loses a point. So I lose a point for that. So
Okay.
you win.
Okay, all right. Cool, I won one. Yes! Dash wins a game!
We get it.
It just happens so rarely. Allow me to enjoy it. So yeah, that
Everything's
was...
made up and the points don't matter.
I know. So that was Shotgun.
That was Shotgun. That's right. It is a game specifically intended for road trips, like this one. So if you want to hear us play this again, you can go back to season 5, episode 1, and you can hear the story about Dash sleeping in the car.
Uh-huh.
You can hear about how many cars Jerry Seinfeld has. And
Who's the first one to see cows on the road?
yeah,
And why there are so many cows
that's
in
right.
Miami Lakes, Florida.
Yeah, so if you like this game, head on back to season 5, episode 1. Give that one a listen. Give us a like, a subscribe, a review, all the things.
Reviews really help us out. So we're going to really stick to the, really helps us out in the algorithms. Please review our
Al
podcast.
Gore loves reviews.
Yeah.
He loves them. He's like, wow,
Yeah.
these are great.
Yeah. Al Gore's rhythm really gets moving when there are reviews.
That's right.
And you can watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube. So you can actually see our beautiful post Countdown Improv Festival faces.
That's right. And I'm sorry about my post-improv festival voice, but this is what you get, everybody. When you have a good time, sometimes you lose your voice.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
It was a good time.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. We love you, little ghosties.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Now we'd love to hear from you.
You can visit playdatepod.us to watch our videos,
Access our episode library,
find out more about our brand of quality, clean comedy.
and contact us with any questions or comments.
Improvisers love audience suggestions, so make sure you visit playdatepod.us.
And the podcast you just heard was a production of Society Circus Players.
If you like what you heard today, please rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend.
And finally, if life's a circus, we're the clowns!
Do, 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 do. Shoo, do, 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 do.